I think we're on test Zion.
Yeah. Okay. So. And start lower. So we have just about 2 weeks and a day left till Shavuos, and in Yis Hashem, hopefully we will finish this mimer by then, even earlier, because there's another mimer I would like to get involved in. And so we were learning the Test Zion the last time, and we spoke about that in order to bring about a transformation, a significant transformation in the Nefesh HaBahamit, and by that we mean that the Nefesh HaBahamit should be nullified to Hashem's will, it's necessary to reveal to the Nefesh HaBahamit its root and its source in the spiritual worlds. And that's what's referred to in the Hasidic literature as Hala'at HaNefesh HaBahamit L'Shorsha, raising the Nefesh HaBahamit to its root. And the mitzvah of the lifting of the Omer, right? The mitzvah of the lifting of the Omer, which is barley, which is animal food, Lifnei Havaya, is to lift it to this very, very high place in godliness, and then through the avoided, through the service of the counting of the Omer for 49 days, the idea of which is to draw down this supernal light from above down to here, to the point that this light should be sensed even in the animal food. In other words, that even our animal soul should sense this. that's what can bring about the bittul, the transformation, the nullification of the egotistical self of the nefesh habahamis. So now he's going to talk about this matter of, we're on page Tet Zayin in the second column. The middle of the second column, there's a paragraph that begins with a dash. You see it?
Yes.
כדי להבין גודל העילוי של העבודה דנפש דהנפת העומר, in order to understand how great a matter it is, how great this service of lifting of the Omer before God, how great this is, מקדים תחילה ביור עניין בירור וזיכוך הנפש הבהמית בכלל. So first the Alter Rebbe is going to talk about the matter of transforming, clarifying, purifying the animal soul through raising it back to its source, through revealing its source to the Nefesh HaBahamit, and then afterwards he's going to go back and speak about the Chiddush of the lifting of the Omer. ואחר כך, and skip the brackets, אחר כך יבאר החידוש בהנפת העומר על ידי הכהן. וזהו שהולך ומבאר שורש עניין העומר מאכל בהמה למעלה בעולמות הרוחניים. So now the Alter Rebbe is proceeding to talk about this issue of raising the Omer, the animal food in the supernal worlds. But first he's going to explain what is meant by the behemoth, the animal in the supernal realm. Then afterwards he's going to talk about the food of the animal. Lemaila, as it is in the spiritual domain. And then he's going to conclude with talking about the lifting of the Omer. Then he says, B'mamar didan, in the parentheses, that B'mamar didan, in our mimer that we're studying, Baha inyan b'kitzur nimratz, this is being presented very briefly. And is then further explained at length in an additional teaching that Alter Rebbe himself gave on this mimer to explain the mimer, and that's found under the opening title of Sefirat Ha'omer, that's printed in Likutei Torah after this mimer. So we're back to the bold typeface at the bottom of the column, and likewise, Lamala yesh gamken b'chinak behema. So says the Alter Rebbe that just like you have behema in this world, there's also the aspect of behema in the supernal realm. And what is that? V'hu hamerkava ha'elyona, and this is referring us back to the supernal chariot, which Yecheskel saw in his vision. And he saw there Pnei Alyeh, the face of a lion, al hayamin, on the right side of the chariot. Pnei Sho me'asmol, and the face of an ox on the left side. Chaya bichlal behema, because
A wild animal is also
a wild animal is also in the general category of a behemoth. So these supernal angels that Yecheskel saw as part of the chariot, these angels, they're not animals, they're angels, but they're called by the name Behema and Chaya. As it says, Pnei Aryeh el Hayamin, Pnei Shor me'asmol. the face of the lion on the right and the face of the ox on the left. V'zohi b'chinat behema l'mala, and this is the aspect of the behema above. Ki gam ha'malachim shenikraim chayot כמו אריה הם בכלל בהמה שהרי חיה בכלל בהמה. So, כמו שכתוב, as it says, על הים שעשה שלמה, right? Shlomo HaMelech had made these basins, water basins, and it says, Omeid al 12 bakar, the basin was on 12 cattle, statues of cattle, Shlosha ponim sefona, 3 facing north, 3 facing south, 3 facing east and west. Shehi Merkava Eliyona, this is what Shlomo was doing, he was making a representation of the supernal chariot, V'hayam Alehem Milmala, and the big water basin that was resting on their backs, Shehi B'chinat Yam Ha'elyon, so that water basin was representing the supernal sea. B'chinat Behema Rabbah, this is the aspect of the great Behema. Shem Ban B'gematria Behema, the name of God that spells out and numerically adds up to 52, is the same numerical value as the word Behema. Bet is 2, Hey is 5, Mem is 40, Hey is 5, that makes 52. Shehu Shoresh HaMerkava D'Pnei Aryeh. And that's the root of the chariot of the face of the lion. Okay, so what we just read now was words from the Kabbalah. We're going to explain it a little bit. The Sefer Melachim, the Sefer Melachim Mesupar Shlomo Asa Yam. In the book of Kings, it says that Shlomo HaMelech had made a sea, which is the word that's used to refer to Gigit Gidola Asuya Kitmut Yam. It was a big basin made in the image of a sea. Shehaya Omeid Al Shnei Asar Bakar V'Hayam Aleim Milmala. So you had these 12 cattle, 12 sculptures of cattle, and the basin was on their back. So the deeper meaning of this is explained. The 12 cattle are alluding to the animals of the chariot that Yecheskel saw. B'chinat behema bakar, v'yam shalei milmala mori al shoresh hamalachim. And the water basin on top of them is alluding to the root of these angels, to their source. B'chinat yam ha'elyon, this supernal sea, shelemala mi'amalachim, which is higher than the angels. Shehi Sefirat Ha'malchut, that's the sphere of Malchus, which is Hasfira Ha'achrona me'ezer Hasfirot HaKdoshot. It's the last of the 10 holy Sfirot. מדרגה זו דים העליון, בשורש המלאכים שנקראים בהמות. This level of the supernal sea, which is the root of these angels that are called behemot, Nikret Gamken B'Shem Behema Rabba. It's also known by the name Behema Rabba. Shato Rabba Kan Eineno Al Shem HaRibui Ela Al Shem HaGedolah. And we say Behema Rabba, but I don't mean to say a lot of behemoths. We're talking about one big behemoth. So,
what's the point of all? I understand this, but what's the point of it?
well, the point of it is that we're trying to understand the root of the Nefesh HaBahamis. Okay.
Good. Okay. The Yud Bey's Bokar with the kior on the back. Wasn't that during Sukkot? I remember seeing a picture of this.
Yeah, but it wasn't just during Sukkot. It was when Shlomo Melech made it. He put it into the Beis Hamikdash,
and it was there all year round.
Yeah. Okay. So we said that that these are all representing the attribute of Malchus, which is the lowest of the 10 Sefirot. So the Behema represents Malchus, the kingship. השייכות לספירת המלכות לבחינת בהמה רבה. The relationship between Malchus and בהמה רבה נרמזת גם כן בכך שבשמות הקדושים בספירת המלכות היא שם בן. The way God's name manifests in the world, in the sphere of Malchus, it manifests as the name that is known, the name that equals to 52 numerically. Perush, כשכותבים שם הוויה במילואו, when you spell out the name of God in its completeness, in other words, for example, you spell Yud, you don't just write the letter Yud, but you write Yud Vav Dalet. Hey, you spell out Hey, which would be Hey Hey, and Vav would make Vav Vav, and the letter Hey is also Hey Hey. So if you add that up, it's 10 plus 6 plus 4 equals to 20. And then and then comes the Vav and so on. Okay. בקיצור, briefly, שורש המלאכים שנקראים בהמות, the point is that the root of the angels that are called בהמות, הוא מבחינת בהמה רבה. This is what's referred to as the בהמה רבה, שהיא ספירת המלכות שם בן. So he's saying that the animals that we have in this world, their origin is in the sphere of Malchus, in the supernal realm. והמרכבה הנ"ל הוא שורש המקור לכל הבהמות ונפש הבהמית שלמטה שנמשכים ממנה. And this chariot, which is the root and the source of all animals and also of the animal soul of man, here in this world, they're all drawn from this sphere of Malchus. Okay. This is the point of the Maimer where it's like we read the words, but we don't really get it yet. It's like learning a new language. You can learn to read Japanese, but you don't get it yet.
You don't understand
You don't understand it yet. It's only in Chabad Hasidus that they actually try to explain all this. I was once attending a shir in Or Einayim back in Montreal in Square. And whenever they'd get to a Kabbalistic piece in the teachings, the teacher would say, "Ins verstehen wir das nicht, wir lernen das bloß." We don't understand this text, but we're just reading it. To which one of the participants said, "Aber in Lubavitch wird man sich collect the finger." In Lubavitch, they love these kinds of things, Kabbalistic teachings, so that you can learn to meditate on it and so on. Okay, so let's see what he says here. Last paragraph in the first column on Daf Yud Zayin. Yadua, it's known, the kol minei nefashot v'kochot she'anu ro'im b'chol ha'bru'im she'ba'olam hazeh. There are all kinds of souls and energies which we see, all these created things that we see in this world, among all the different creatures of this world, Mishtalshelim, they've all evolved me'olamot elyonim, from supernal realms. Yerak geshem v'chomer hanivra hu chidush gamur. I'm having a hard time right now.
So let's hold it until tomorrow.
I went to Meron, Motzei Shabbos.
That's why you're tired.
So I was up all night, Motzei Shabbos, and we got back at around 12 o'clock yesterday afternoon. And I slept for a couple of hours in the afternoon, but it's really disorienting when you miss a whole night of sleep. You know? I once heard of friends that'll say that they did sleep studies, and if somebody goes 6 days without sleep, the mental damage is incorrigible. Like you miss a day or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days of sleep, then you spend a couple of days sleeping and you're back to your normal self. But if you miss 6 nights of sleeping, the damage to the brain is cannot be corrected.
You have what I would imagine is something like jet lag. No,
I'm going to be okay. This has happened before. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about Lag BaOmer. Okay, we'll continue with the Maimer tomorrow. So, honestly speaking, one of the things that pains me a lot, and it doesn't matter whether it's coming from the right or from the left, from the conservatives or from the liberals, we're living in a time that we're a short supply of Ahavas Yisrael, of real Achdus. And the first year that we came to Eretz Yisrael, it was just a couple of months after the Rebbe was nifter, and a couple of months later, Reb Shlomo Carlebach was nifter. And I noticed that within a few months, the voices of division here in the media and so on were getting stronger. people were more open about that they were against this group or they're against that group and so on. And we're suffering from a lot of internal division nowadays. Hashem Yishmor. We were having a discussion in the yeshiva this morning about this matter. And one of the rabbis was saying that when people grow up in a ghetto-like environment, it makes it harder for them to relate with people outside their personal environment. So when the Rebbe and Reb Shlomo were alive, they were putting out a very strong message about how all of us are brothers and sisters, and how there has to be a Havas Yisrael, and so on. But they were two, great souls who were able to embody all of Israel, and worked very hard to bring about a sense of unity among Israel in Israel. But today we don't have them. We have their teachings, but we don't have them in person providing that energy. And that's why it's so important that no matter how many times we encounter something that makes it difficult, we should never give up on working towards Achdus Yisrael, to working towards the unity of Israel. Okay, so I'm going to stop over here because my head is not allowing me to carry on right now. Mr. Hashem will continue tomorrow. You hope to be here?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the things of Shul. There is an Achdus there.
Oh, Hashem.